He had one of the greatest seasons in the history of receiving in football at any level, and that season belongs to a man who once upon a time was a unanimous first-team All-Columbia Basin Big Nine League wide receiver who happened to finish his senior season, high school, with 0 scholarship offers. He is a guy who is all about what you can do with opportunity, a Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP as well, Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams here on the program. How you doing, Cooper?
I'm great. Thanks for pulling out the high school stats for me. That's great.
How about that one? What is a unanimous first team All Columbia Basin Big Nine League player? What is? Can you walk me through that, sir?
Yeah. Well, we had the southeastern corner of Washington kind of has its own league. We get kind of spread out, so you got like 2 hours. You drive 2 hours on Friday to go play your game. So that's the Columbia Basin Big Nine. We got 9 teams spread out all over there, and been some good guys come out of there.
If I had told that kid coming off of that field that day for the Columbia Basin Big Nine League that he would be a Super Bowl MVP wide receiver one day, what would that kid have said, Cooper Kupp?
I'd like to think that that kid would say, well, that's what I'm working for. I think that's what I'd hope that, that's the attitude I took every single day, the amount of time I spent preparing myself and pushing myself to be able to go and compete in this league. It all started with a dream back then that, in my mind, it was more than a dream, but more of just a destiny that you were working towards.
How much is that person still in you, Cooper? What do you think?
Oh, yeah. It's still there. I was literally talking to my wife this morning at breakfast, saying I still feel like the young guy coming in, the first time you come into the league and looking up to so many great football players and going out and feeling like you got to go prove it over again, go prove that you belong in this league. And, that mindset's never changed. It didn't change in college. It didn't change in high school. It's just kind of been, I think it's just an intrinsic part of who I am.
What did your wife say in response to that? Keen to know.
She said she completely agrees. She just says, I think she said, that's just you. That's just who you are and how I operate. And, I think she knows that more than anyone.
And take out the garbage. And then she said that, right? And then that's what she said.
Yes.
That's right, man. So, okay, now you're getting set for a new season. Before we get to that, I've been dying to ask you this question because Stafford came in when the schedule was released in the way back in the spring. And I asked him about that play call in the Super Bowl, 4th and short. And, man, the play call comes in, and it's you, Cooper Kupp, taking it on a handoff. And what was that like in the huddle? And he told me a story about how that play was born and installed, and I would love to hear that from you, if you don't mind, Cooper Kupp. Please.
Yeah, so I guess going back through that, you get 2 weeks to prepare for that thing. It was something like went in early that week about just kind of a short yardage, being able to get a little jet sweep around the edge. We practiced it the first time. I think the first 2 times we practiced it, I think we went fumbled the snap, and then we botched the handoff the next time. And so we started off 0 for 2 on that play, and it was actually about to get pulled. The play was about to get pulled, and Matthew and I were kind of discussing how we wanted to do that, the timing of how we wanted to time out the snap point and all this stuff, and how we were going to indicate to each other, communicate to each other, pre-snap on how we were going to time it up. And we felt like we had a good plan for it. And, we went and talked to Sean and just said, hey, we want to keep this play. And I know we haven't run it full speed. We're not going to get an opportunity to run it full speed, but we'd like to do it this way. Sean trusted us to be able to, that we were going to have communicated this thing, come up with a plan that we'd be able to go out there and execute it. So then the first time we actually ran that thing full speed and execute it the right way was right there in the Super Bowl on 4th and 1.
That is unbelievable, Cooper. That is nuts. That is totally crazy that the way you were practicing it almost caused the play to be pulled. You and the quarterback get together and convince the coach keep it. And what in the world were you thinking when you heard that play call in that instance, Cooper Kupp?
As we break the huddle, we had like one key, key word, key thing that we wanted to do that was going to be our big communication to each other on how that was going to time up. And so both of us just looked at each other and just said it, like, this is the remember this, boom, like we know what our key is. And then once we had that and we were both locked in on what that was, we were able to go out there and execute it.
But what stones for McVay to call it, right? I mean,
I know.
Come on.
I know. But I mean, that's the thing. It was his child. It was his thing that it was his play to begin with. So he knew it was right if we could execute it the right way. The big thing was just Matthew and I getting on the same page to be able to do it exactly how he envisioned it.
Have you and Stafford had a moment post, and then ensuing days, weeks, months, or whatever to look at each other and say, wow, I can't believe that was the play that was called at that time? Because I imagine in the heat of the moment, you didn't even share a look. Like, you're like, okay, let's do it the way that we're going to do it and go and pull it off. But I'm wondering if post game you ever looked at each other. Can't believe that's the play that started it all.
Yeah, there's been a couple times over the off season where that just our little keyword, code word would come up and we just get a little chuckle out of it. It's good. A little inside joke for us.
Unbelievable. Cooper Kupp, Super Bowl MVP, champion, Offensive Player of the Year, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, the All-World, the whole shooting match right here on the Rich Eisen Show. The encore this year, sir, I mean, how do you pull it off? Walk me through your mindset entering this season, getting ready for the Bills on opening night.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Well, you have to treat it the same as any other season, and that you take a little bit of time to reflect on what that season was, see the things that you can do better, things that you did well, and then really go out there and make the improvements that you need to. And I think we've done a good job of that this off season. And the focus just shifts to looking forward to what's to come. This league is so competitive. There's so many good football players, so many good teams and coaches that there's no time, good, bad, or ugly. You can't linger in the past. There's no time for it. You got to be able to move forward, and that's the mindset we've taken. It's, regardless, it's not about going out and defending anything. It's about going and pursuing a world championship. Plain and simple. It's about this year and what it's going to take to go stack the bricks, stack the blocks together, day after day, to be able to go out there and achieve something great. So that's been our mindset, and excited that we're a week away of being able to go make that happen.
Well, I mean, how does somebody who has etched his name, and that's what we say when there's records in the NFL or in sports world, you've etched your name, Cooper Kupp, next to Jerry Rice, Calvin Johnson. I mean, with a Triple Crown season, how are you better? Like, what did you do to improve? What'd you work on, Cooper?
Yeah, well, I think the name of the game. I mean, it's real simple. The name of the game is being bigger, stronger, faster than you were the year before. And then all the stuff that you can do cognitively to be able to slow the game down. I feel like that's a big thing that I felt over this last few months, is being able to get to this place where the game is continuing to slow down and you're able to play with a quieted mind and go out there and there's little things, little details here and there that within our offense that you want to improve on. Angles off the line, the way you're reading, understanding where guys fit on the second level, and then the run game, being able to take angles off the line of scrimmage to go cut off guys appropriately, and get a feel for how guys are going to play certain motions and runs based on actions from the front, and all that little stuff that's just the nuanced detail of this game that as you play it longer and longer, you just get a better feel for. All that stuff is just going to be improvement there. And then it's just, at the end of the day, just being a better football player than you were the year before. If you can get to that place and understand that it's not about the production, it's not about what the paper says, but at the end of the day, it's what the film says. And I want to look at film and say I'm a better football player than I was in 2021. How
does Allen Robinson fit into this whole equation? How's he looking, Cooper?
He looks really good. He's been huge for us. This offseason has been incredible to see him work and find his niche and find how he's going to fit into things, and his ability to run all the routes, to be able to do all the things that we want to do in this offense, all things that coach wants to be able to ask receivers to do. He's able to step in. He's not only willing, but he is able, and I'm really excited for him. And his mentality has been great. He's been great just as a sounding board for me, even to run ideas by and be able to talk football with. It's been a lot of fun.
And then there's a lot of other additions in the NFL that have happened in that crazy month of March, one that doesn't get talked as much, although it certainly does in Seattle because it gutted them. And I think his acquisition by your team and Les Snead and the whole crew, so huge. Bobby Wagner, what has he brought to you and the team, and just having him around and being Bobby Wagner? Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, wow. What he brings just as a leader, as a person, as a voice on that side of the ball. Talking about a Hall of Famer at the second level in the middle of your defense running the show. You can't put. It's hard to put into words how important that is. It's hard to understand just how important that is. Just outside of the football, outside of the numbers, what he brings as a leader is a really special thing. And as an offensive player, being able to talk to him and see what the defensively, how they're seeing things and how they're attacking things, and how I can counter that. And just as someone that just loves football, he's invaluable. So I'm so excited to have him. I know that a lot of the guys on that side of the ball are too.
And then your guy Stafford, he won't talk about it. Maybe you will. The fact that there were so many doubts about him and his Detroit career, and then he wins it in his first year in Los Angeles. What do you got to say about that, Cooper?
Yeah, man. There was just there's times you get to the playoffs last year, and there's a lot of guys that you play for the guys around you. At the end of the day, you play for these guys that you have so much respect for. We had Matthew, there was Weddle, Whitworth. Guys that have been in this league for a long time, doing some really good things. And guys, you just want to go out there and you want to be able to play your best and see those guys succeed, and get what you get to this game, you play this game the right way. There's just, I believe that those guys deserved to be able to walk off that field last year as champions, and you'd love to be able to see that. So for Matthew, it was being able to get his first playoff win, then also be able to progress through that and make the plays that he did and play as well as he did through the playoffs, and just some huge big-time throws, big-time drives, and then be able to walk off the field as a champion. I was just so excited for him, because he does it the right way as a man, as a teammate. He does it right, and so I was just really excited to see guys like that succeed.
Well, man, I'm looking forward to seeing how you can follow it up, and I'm looking forward to seeing if you can follow it up with a championship, not just for so many of the Rams fans I know around here in Los Angeles, but just to see if they can actually make a ring bigger than the one that you got. I'm very curious about that, Cooper. I mean, that can't be possible,
Yeah, we'll see if we can make that a reality.
Okay, you have kids, right? Don't you have kids, Cooper?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
How old are they?
4 and 1.
Okay, have you put the 1-year-old inside the ring to sleep? Is it large enough? Is it?
Not yet. We haven't tried. Our 1-year-old's the size of a 3-year-old, so I don't know if it's going to.
Oh, wow. Okay, very good. Big leaguers to come. Very good. Hey, Cooper, thanks for the time. Greatly appreciate it. Look for more of my calls during the season. Good luck to you, and I appreciate the time now.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Rich.
You got it. The great Cooper Kupp right here on The Rich Eisen Show.